Assalamualaikum to my lecturer, Dr. Mohd Faisal bin Hussein. So today I would like to present about chapter 4, which is natural gas. Firstly, I want to introduce my group member. Firstly, myself is Ahmad Nazirul bin Nazri, which is the group leader. Next is Stephen Raj anak lelaki Johnson. Next is Muhammad Alif Ikram bin Yahya. And lastly, Nabilatul Nadia binti Junaidi. So this is our subtopic in the chapter 4, which is chapter natural gas. Firstly, we were to look about introduction, next cells and composition of natural gas. Then we look to properties of natural gas. Then we learn about their advantages and disadvantages when using natural gas. And lastly, performance and emission characteristic of natural gas. Firstly, before we go further about natural gas, we need to know what is natural gas. Natural gas, also known as fossil gas. It is the Earth's cleanest fossil fuel or gas, and it is colorless and odorless in its natural state. Natural state refer to the original condition of the natural gas, which is in their original place, underground or under sea. Odorless is there is no odor or any other bad odor. Cleanest fossil fuel refer to when natural gas it burns, it produces mostly carbon dioxide, water vapor and small amount of nitrogen. So it claimed as the cleanest fossil fuel on Earth. Natural gas can be found in underground rock called reservoir. It is composed of 4 hydrocarbon atom and 1 carbon atom. In alkane family, methane consists the highest composition of natural gas, which is methane CH4. So this picture show the molecular formula of methane, which is also known as natural gas. Next, origin of natural gas. Where the natural gas is come from? So, firstly, natural gas is a microscopic and animal gas, which is it produced from microscopic plant and animals living in shallow marine environment million years ago. Natural gas take a million years to be produced. The dead body absorb energy from sun, which was stored as carbon molecule. Then the dead body sank to the bottom of the sea or the underground and were covered by layer after layer of sediment. Layer of sediment here refer to the layer underground, which is content of mostly rock, pebbles, type of soil and so on, which the absence of heat and pressure of compaction, it converts some of the biomaterial into natural gas. So this is the origin of natural gas and how it's produced. So in this diagram, this is the schematic geology of natural gas resources. This is the common type of natural gas drilling rig procedure or process in order to suck all the natural gas to the surface. So we can see in the pictures, we have drilling rig. Gas rich shale is a fine grain clastic sedimentary rock contained of mud that mix of flake of clay material and tiny fragment of other material. So in the gas rich shale contain mostly the natural gas. Next, we go on to the type of natural gas. Basically, there is 2 type of natural gas. Firstly is biogenic gas, then is methanogenic gas or thermogenic gas. Firstly, biogenic gas. It a gas that contains less than 95% of methane or dry gas. It formed by bacterial decay at shallow depth, commonly 10 to 300 feet, at low temperature by anaerobic bacterial decomposition of sedimentary organic matter. Anaerobic bacterial decomposition is the process of decomposition of the dead body or the plant to produce the biogenic gas. Common source of thermogenic natural gas include shale, coal bed, and tight limestone. Next, we go to process producing biogenic gas. Produced by methanogenic organism called biogenic gas. Methanogens are tiny methane-producing mechanisms that chemically break down organic matter to produce methane. It can be found in marshes, bog, landfills, and shallow sediment. Process occur closer to the Earth's surface for the formation of methane through biogenic process. As the methanogens live and grow, methane accumulate in their underground habitat. So, this process is the process of producing biogenic gas. Next, the second type is thermogenic gas. It is a gas that contains equal or more than 95% of methane, or also known as wet gas. Formed in deeper depth from fine-grained rock formation typically under 3,000 feet. A lower quality gas formed at high temperature. Thermogenic gas also can be separated and individually sold for various use such as refrigerant and to produce petrochemical product like plastic. So usually plastic is produced from thermogenic gas type of natural gas. This gas contains a large percentage of non-methane hydrocarbon and form a significant portion of natural gas. So this is the process producing thermogenic gas. Thermogenic gas is produced by extreme heat and pressure underground. It needs enough pressure and heat in order to produce thermogenic gas. Can be extracted by traditional or standard drilling procedure. So thermogenic gas can be sucked out to the surface by traditional and standard drilling procedure. Also, sophisticated drilling procedure can be used if the source of rock have limited permeability and is accessible. So, in this picture, it shows the position or the depth of the biogenic gas and thermogenic gas. Biogenic gas closer to the surface compared to thermogenic gas found deeper to the earth, and it needs higher thermogenic gas need higher temperature than biogenic gas. Next, we go on to natural gas as petroleum. Natural gas also can be used as petroleum, but before natural gas can be used as fuel or petroleum, it must be undergoes a process to remove all the impurities, including water, to meet the specification. Processing involving 4 major steps to remove the various impurities. Firstly, oil and condensate removal. Next is water removal. The third is separation of natural gas liquids. And the fourth is sulphur and carbon dioxide removal. So we go one by one to the process. Firstly, oil and condensate removal. So in this figure, the process of oil and condensate removal of natural gas. Next, this is the process of water removal. It contains oxidizer vessel. In this oxidizer vessel, it is the process where it separates the water and the gas. So the water goes to the solution circulation pump, then the gas will be evaporated out of the tank or the vessel. Next, the third way is separation of natural gas liquid. In this process, it's same almost as oil and condensate removal, but it required different machine and equipment. And the fourth one is sulfur and carbon dioxide removal. We also know that natural gas also contain sulfur and carbon dioxide, but not that much. But before we want to transform it into fuel or petroleum, we need to remove all the impurities, including sulfur and carbon dioxide, by this process. So next, compressed natural gas, which is CNG. CNG are stored in high pressure, is a fuel that can be used in various places such as gasoline, diesel, and LPG, which is liquefied petroleum gas. CNG made by compressing natural gas to less than 1% of the volume it occupies at standard atmospheric pressure. It distributes in hard container at a pressure of 20 to 25 megapascal, usually in cylindrical or spherical shapes. Okay, that's all for the introduction.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Alif Ikram bin Yahya, and I will present about sources and composition of natural gas. For your information, we have 3 sources of natural gas. Firstly is from the fossil fuel, secondly biogenic methane, and thirdly is abiogenic process. Fossil fuel is remain of plant and animal or organism that lived million and million of years ago. Fossil fuel bermaksud haiwan yang telah mati pada beribu zaman yang dulu. Contohnya adalah pada zaman dinosaur. Yang kedua, biogenic methane is the transformation of organic matter by tiny microorganism. For just an example, tiny microorganism is alga. When the alga die, it will akan termendap pada lapisan yang paling bawah permukaan laut. Dan yang ketiga, thirdly is abiogenic process. Abiogenic process is extremely deep under the earth crust. There exists hydrogen-rich gas and carbon molecule. Abiogenic process ni adalah proses di mana dia terwujudnya hydrogen gas yang kaya dengan hydrogen gas pada permukaan paling dalam kerak bumi. Proses natural gas terjadi. Crude oil was made over millions of years from tiny plant and animal called plankton. The plankton on the left will form in about 150 million year time if the seabed is not disturbed. The plankton that lived in the Jurassic period made our crude oil. Ini gambar ni adalah gambar plankton. Gambar plankton pada zaman Jurassic period. The plankton are trapped under many layers of sand and mud. Over millions of years, the dead animal and plant got buried deeper and deeper. The heat and pressure gradually turned the mud into rock and the dead animal and plant into oil and gas. Ini adalah gambar apabila plankton ni dalam jangka masa yang lama plankton akan mati dan akan termendap pada permukaan yang paling bawah sekali dan akan menjadi beberapa layer termasuk permukaan lumpur, pasir dan akan menyebabkan akan terjadinya pada seperti gambar ni. Gambar ni menunjukkan plankton adalah pada permukaan paling bawah sekali, dilapisi oleh mud, pasir dan air. Di mana plankton ni berada dalam pressure yang tinggi. Oil is formed over millions of years. It is held in tiny space in underground rock, like water in a sponge. Some rock have tiny space called pore. The rock with this pore can hold the oil like a sponge. Ini adalah gambar batu di mana dia punya bentuk seperti sponge dan menyimpan minyak di mana permukaan dia seperti saya kata seperti sponge yang ada mempunyai lubang-lubang yang dipanggil sebagai pore yang boleh menyimpan minyak. Seterusnya, the cap rock stop the oil from escape. Over millions of years, the rock fall. Sometimes they form a dome shape that can catch the oil. Maksudnya pada batu yang seperti sponge tadi, dia ada satu permukaan yang dipanggil dome shape. Ini adalah permukaan dome shape. Dan batu ni dia bentuk dia seperti seperti gunung-gunung itu, di mana ni adalah plankton ataupun natural gas yang tersimpan pada permukaan paling bawah ataupun pada permukaan bawah rock. Seterusnya, oil can float up through the tiny space in the rock. We call this tiny space pore, and we say that the rock is porous. This can take millions of years. The oil can't get through the cap rock and is trapped in the dome of rock underneath. The cap rock stop the oil from escaping. Sebagaimana yang kita tahu, hydrogen gas ni adalah satu bahan yang mana dia punya ketumpatan adalah tinggi. Dia punya ketumpatan adalah rendah. So dia akan terapung dan akan tersekat dekat cap rock. Di mana dekat sini dia akan tersimpannya gas-gas natural gas. Dia terhalang sebabnya permukaan dia permukaan yang dome shape. Dia menghalang daripada gas ni teruap ke atas permukaan laut. The rock layer underneath has tiny space or spore in it. Although it is solid, it can hold the oil like sponge. The oil company can drill into this rock to recover the oil. This was time of dinosaur. It was about 150 million years ago. Ini adalah permukaan permukaan batu di mana bentuk dia yang mempunyai pore, maksudnya permukaan yang porous dan mempunyai pore. Ini adalah dome shape yang mana dia menyimpan oil, dan cara untuk mendapatkan minyak ni adalah dengan cara atau proses drill pada permukaan ni dan tarik dan sedut ke atas oil. Di mana proses tu ada proses yang banyak proses untuk mendapatkan pure oil. Type of natural gas. Natural gas we have two type of natural gas. Firstly is dry gas and secondly is wet gas. Dry natural gas is a natural gas that come without the added unwanted component of wet gas. It almost completely methane with a higher methane content. Dry gas ni adalah natural gas di mana dia tak ada bahan yang tak diperlukan. Mana bahan yang tak diperlukan dalam dalam natural gas adalah bahan yang ada pada wet gas, di mana dry gas ni almost completely methane with higher methane content. Secondly is wet gas. Wet natural gas has the same basic composition as dry natural gas, though with additional component. Wet gas contain around 85% methane and other liquid natural gas like ethane and butane. Wet gas made up from the liquid natural gas LNG in the composition. Wet gas ni adalah basic composition. Wet gas ni adalah basic composition of dry gas, di mana wet gas ni ada 85% methane dan selain daripada methane, dia mengandungi liquid natural gas, contohnya ethane dengan butane. Maksudnya wet gas ni adalah komposisi basic. Wet gas ni adalah komponen basic kepada dry gas. Maksudnya dekat dry gas ni adalah gas kering, maksudnya tak termasuk daripada wet gas. Dia punya komposisi dekat wet gas ni tidak ada dalam komponen wet gas. Dan wet gas ni biasanya digunakan pakai sebagai minyak, minyak kenderaan, minyak masak, bukan minyak masak, minyak memasak, gas memasak. Perbezaan antara gas kering dengan gas basah, dry and wet gas. The left is a dry gas and the right side is the wet gas. For dry gas, we use as a fuel car, electric sources, reactor or factory sources. With minimal processing, dry natural gas introduced into pipeline. Boleh digunakan sebagai pipeline for sale across the country. Digunakan sebagai pipeline merentasi antara dua negara. Ia juga boleh digunakan sebagai gas vehicle. Ini gambar ni adalah gas vehicle, drilling rig and other operation. Therefore, saving or transposition of other fuel to location. Ni adalah natural gas liquid, mana contoh kepada wet gas. Biasanya digunakan sebagai petrochemical plant to manufacture consumer product. Burn for home ni tong gas punya liquid dalam tong gas. Juga boleh digunakan sebagai gasoline. Wet gas. Composition of natural gas. The exact composition of natural gas is different depending on the location. Maksudnya apabila sesuatu tempat tu mempunyai natural gas yang banyak, dan maksud saya the exact composition of natural gas is different depending on the location. Maksudnya komposisi natural gas ni dia bergantung kepada lokasi. Apabila sesuatu lokasi itu mempunyai kandungan natural gas yang banyak, maksudnya dia punya plankton ataupun bahan yang telah mati yang terperap pada bawah, pada dasar permukaan laut tinggi, automatik dia punya composition of natural gas adalah tinggi. Dan sekiranya rendah plankton ataupun fossil fuel yang ada, Bermaksud kita punya composition juga rendah. Each well has a different gas composition and different amount of each component. Thirdly, natural gas is combustible mixture of hydrocarbon gas, organic compound of hydrogen and carbon. 4. While natural gas is formed primarily of methane, it also includes ethane, propane, butane and pentane. Maksudnya di sini adalah wet gas senang cerita wet gas. Apabila wet gas natural gas terhasil, dia akan terhasilnya ada banyak gas yang terhasil dan primary-nya adalah methane. Methane ni boleh dikatakan sebagai dry gas kering. Dan dalam natural gas juga termasuk adanya gas ethane, propane, butane and pentane. Table of composition of natural gas. Ini adalah table composition natural gas di mana methane have higher percent of natural gas, which is 60% until 90% of methane gas in natural gas composition. Ethane have 0 to 20%, propane 0 to 20% also, butane also 0 to 20%, carbon dioxide 0 to 8%, oxygen have the lowest composition in natural gas, which is 0 to 0.2% of oxygen in natural gas. Nitrogen have 0 to 5%, hydrogen sulfide have 0 until 5%, and rare gas is argon gas and helium gas 0 to 2% gas. That's all for the sources and composition of natural gas. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.
Hi, today I will explain about the properties of natural gas. Natural gas was naturally mixture of hydrocarbon and non-hydrocarbon that was found in a pore of formation under the Earth's surface. Hydrocarbon was composed of element carbon and hydrocarbon. The example of the utility like methane, ethane, propane and butane. Major component 99% like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide was considered as contaminants of natural gas. Combustion of natural gas is a chemical reaction of oxygen with combustible material which produce heat. There are three components of combustion such as fuel can be considered as natural gas, oxygen and a sources of ignition. Natural gas will not burn unless the mixture within a flammable rate roughly 4 to 15% gas per volume of air. The efficient or the ideal mixture is about 10% gas. A combustible mixture natural gas is a very high. Ignition temperature is about 1150 Fahrenheit. Is twice of ignition temperature of gasoline. They have a source of ignition such as any open flames like lighter, match, candle, and a static electricity spark, light switch, overhead electrical transformer, and so on. Natural gas can dissipate into the air rapidly. It makes difficult to accidentally combustion.
Good evening to Dr. Faisal. Today I will present about my part, which is advantage of natural gas. First, natural gas is environmentally clean. Among many burning fossil fuel available on planet Earth, natural gas is the most cleanest. It is considered clean because unlike other gases, natural gases emit very less byproduct into the atmosphere as pollutant. This keeps the air we breathe cleaner. It is economical. Natural gas is not as expensive as other burning fuels. Third one, it is convenient. If people use natural gas for cooking or electric purpose, it can be connected to the consumer house with the help of pipelines. They eliminate the long process of the collecting, processing, packing and delivering the end product to the customer. It is more efficient when compared to things like propane gas. Natural gas provide more energy when it burns, which make it much more efficient. Natural gas is easy to deliver. If we look at the current mode of deliver gas to home in India, we notice a lot of metal cylinder changing hand. Should natural gas take over as the preferred fuel for cooking? Its delivery will be much easier since all that is needed to deliver natural gas is a network of pipe. Okay, second one is disadvantage of natural gas. Limited quantities. The problem in India is that we don't have vast reserve of natural gas, which means that most of natural gas that is consumed by us has to be bought from other countries. Such constant purchases can turn into a rather expensive proportion over time. Natural gas is a non-renewable source of energy. Keeping aside the positive of using natural gas, one should not forget that it's not renewable source of energy. Experts state that natural gas will be depleted in the future and will be apt to import it from the other nation. Storage. Even though natural gas is easier to store and transport, it has one big disadvantage. Its volume happen to be 4 times that of petrol, which make it more expensive to store since more need to be spent on additional storage. Longer processing process, as natural gas has other component that has to be removed before using it. For residential or commercial purpose, it take a lot of time and manpower to process it. The last one is efficiency in transportation. When natural gas is used as a fuel in car, the mileage is lower than gasoline.
Then we look into subtopic 4.5, which is performance and emission characteristic of natural gas. Firstly, we talk about the usage of natural gas. Natural gas can be used in various places, as mentioned from the chapter 1. Firstly, natural gas can be used in power generation. Natural gas is a major source of electricity generation through the use of gas turbines and steam turbines. Next, natural gas also can be used as domestic use. Natural gas is a powerful domestic cooking and heating fuel. We know the heating or cooking gas is used by the methane. Next, transportation. Natural gas in form of CNG is cleaner automobile fuel compared to the petrol and diesel, and LNG, which is liquefied natural gas, is also emerging as an alternative fuel for automobiles. So by using natural gas, we can reduce the greenhouse effect produced from the vehicle. Next, natural gas also can be used as fertilizer. Natural gas is a major feedstock for the production of ammonia via the Haber process for use in fertilizer production. Aviation. Russian aircraft manufacturer Tupolev is currently running a development program to produce LNG and use natural gas for the aircraft. Hydrogen. Natural gas can be used to produce hydrogen, which one common method being the hydrogen reformer. The other usage of natural gas is natural gas also used in the manufacture of fabric, glass, steel, plastic, paint and other product. So basically, natural gas is a widely used uses of fuel. Natural gas can be used widely in various place. Next, residential. So, natural gas is the high performance fuel. As we know that natural gas can be used in many places. So residential also one of the application that can be applied by the natural gas. Residential sector natural gas uses include heating, cooking and fueling appliances such as water heater and clothes dryer. So based on this pie chart, this is the natural gas consumption by sector of the economy. Look onto the pie chart. The biggest economy that use natural gas is residential. So natural gas are in our house. Daily we use the natural gas for cooking, for our daily life usage. The next is industrial, which is 26%. Then the third most consumption usage by the natural gas is transportation, which is 24%, and following by the commercial, which is 10%. Then the least is electric, which is 2%. Next, we go on to the global warming emission. We know that natural gas is a fossil fuel. Hence, its combustion are much lower than those from coal or oil. Natural gas only emits 50 to 60% less carbon dioxide when combusted in a new, efficient natural gas power plant compared with emission from a typical new coal plant. Natural gas also emit 50 to 20% less heat-trapping gases than gasoline when burned into today's typical vehicle. So, hence, natural gas can reduce the global warming emission and reduce the greenhouse effect for our ecosystem. Then, lastly is air pollution. We also know that natural gas is the cleanest and odorless fuel on earth. Natural gas is the cleanest compared to the other type of fuel, cleaning burning than other fuels, fossil fuel. The combustion of natural gas produces negligible amount of sulphur, mercury and particulates. Burning natural gas does produce nitrogen oxide, which are precursor to smoke, but at lower level than gasoline and diesel used for motor vehicle. Natural gas does produce nitrogen oxide, but it's lower than gasoline compared to gasoline and diesel. Natural gas provide good benefit to the environment. Unconventional gas development can affect local and regional air quality. So that's from us. Thank you very much.